Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining me. We're gonna get started in a comfortable seated, easy cross-legged, or bring one shin in front of the other. You can also place a pillow under the sitting bones for more comfort. Once you're here, let's open our palms to the sky. Let's take a deep, long breath in through the nose. And then a very slow, long breath out through the nose. One more time. Inhale. Feel the chest rise. Feel the collarbones separate. And slowly, fully exhale, allowing the shoulders to drop. Allowing the sitting bones to melt. Take a moment, close the eyes, and start to bring awareness to the body. Notice how you're feeling. Scan the body, head to toe. And just bring your awareness to any parts of the body that are feeling tight, tense, uncomfortable. As you continue breathing, increase the awareness to the body. Visualize exactly where the tightness, the tension, the discomfort is. And with every exhale, remind yourself to be honest in your practice and to honor your body. With our next inhale, we're going to reach both arms up towards the sky. Bring the fingertips to touch. With the exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Press the thumbs into the chest. Tuck the chin in slightly to lengthen the back of the neck. We're going to repeat this a few more times. Inhale, lengthen. Stretch through the sides of the waist, all the way to the fingertips. Exhale, ground down into the mat. Let the hips be heavy. One more time, inhale, reach up, and exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to begin our practice with some breathing. We're going to open our palms to the sky. We're going to relax the shoulders down our back, close the eyes, and take a deep inhale through the nose. And then as you exhale, gently draw the belly in. Begin to engage the abdomen. Inhale, visualize the spine lengthening. And exhale, squeeze the lungs empty. Push all the stale breath out. We're going to continue breathing just like that. Inhale, lengthen, expand. And exhale, relax the shoulders. Draw the rib cage in, draw the belly in. Inhale as you lengthen. And exhale as you soften. And one more breath in. And exhale, squeeze the belly button to the spine. Blink the eyes open. We're going to begin our practice with spinal flexion. We're going to bring the hands to the shin that's in front or the leg that's on top. Inhale as you bring the chest forward, maybe slightly tilt the chin up. Squeeze the elbows towards the rib cage. As you exhale, we're going to reverse. We're going to draw the belly in. We're going to press the back into the wall behind us and extend the elbows. Inhale, open up, shoulders down the back. Exhale, curl in. So it's almost like we're doing cat and cow, but we're remaining seated. Feel free to close the eyes. Bring the awareness to the spine as you open up. Inhale as the chest moves forward and the gaze lifts up or the chin lifts up. Exhale as you curl the spine, tuck the chin in. And as long as this feels good, as long as there's no pain or discomfort, feel free to exaggerate the movement. Maybe take a pause at the top of each inhale. And then at the bottom of each exhale. Let's do 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. And 1 more breath in. And 1 more breath out. On our next inhale, come back to center. Draw the shoulders all the way up to the ears, all the way back and down. Release the arms. Beautiful. We're going to extend the legs out in front of us. We're going to adjust the sitting bones. Find a little bit more length into the back of the legs. Press your heels down now. Draw that right hip all the way back. Come over onto the right side and then draw off the left hip all the way back. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky. Draw the shoulders down your back. Keep belly engaged. Keep squeezing into the midline. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, fold forward. Keep the spine long for as long as you can. And when you can't anymore, when you feel like you're gonna round, that's when you're gonna release the hands. Keep the spine long. Inhale, lengthen, maybe look up. Exhale, bend at the elbows, hinge at the hips. Draw the chest closer to the thighs. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward. And 1 more time, inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, fold forward. This is when we're gonna relax the arms. Maybe we're gonna bring the hands to the shins, or maybe we're gonna reach for the ankles. Let the belly rest on top of the thighs. Maybe let the spine gently round and tuck the chin in. Breathe deeply here. As you inhale, feel the back expand. Feel the size of the waist. And then as you exhale, allow the torso to melt closer towards the legs. 2 more breaths in here. Inhale. And exhale. Melt a little deeper. 1 more breath in as we expand into the back of the body. And 1 more full breath out, squeezing the lungs empty, allowing the body to release tension. On our next breath in, we're gonna walk the hands towards the sitting bones, lifting the head above the heart. We're gonna take the right leg out to the side, and then we're gonna bring the left sole of the foot in to the inner right thigh. On our next inhale, reach the arms up, lengthen. Try not to let the rib cage flare open. Instead, draw the rib cage in. Lengthen from the sides of the waist, through the sides of the rib cage, all the way through to the fingertips. On our exhale, hands behind the base of the neck. We're gonna take a deep breath in here. On our exhale, we're gonna take the right elbow towards the right hip. Feel that stretch on the left side of the body. Feel the compression on the right side of the body. Now slowly back to center. Inhale. Exhale, over to the right. And back to center. We're going to do 3 more, nice and slowly with control. Exhale to the side. Inhale with control, back to center. And 2. Squeeze back to center. Last one, come over to the right. This time we're gonna release the right fingertips to the mat. Maybe we're gonna walk the hand all the way to the side of the mat. Maybe we're gonna bend the elbow, come down on your forearm if that's available to you. Now start to bring the awareness towards the left side. Start to open up, press your head into your hand. Take the left elbow back behind you. Feel the shoulder blades squeeze together. Take one more big inhale. On your exhale, bend into that right elbow a little bit more. And slowly, with control, inhale, come back to center. We're gonna turn the chest towards the right leg. Inhale to reach the arms to the sky. Keep the abdomen engaged. Keep the rib cage engaged. On our exhale, we're gonna reach over towards the right leg. Maybe we're gonna rest the hands on either side of the leg. Maybe we're gonna start to bend into the elbows, taking the belly closer towards the right thigh. Take a deep breath in as you lengthen. Exhale as you soften. And we're gonna remain right here, finding that length on the left side of the torso. Press your left hip down, press your left knee towards the floor. See if you can reach a little closer towards the right ankle. Maybe try lengthening the spine so that the forehead reaches towards the toes. So we want to avoid rounding here. Instead, we want to lengthen and hinge at the hips. We're going to take one more breath in. And one more breath out. Now from here, we're gonna place the right hand to the inside of the right foot. So either forearm comes down onto the mat, or you can keep the right hand anywhere onto the right shin. Inhale, left arm in the opposite direction. Find a big wingspan here. Squeeze the shoulder blades together as you reach as far back as you can. And then from here, we're gonna reach the left arm over the body. Keep that length on the left side of the rib cage. Press the left hip down. Press the left knee down. Keep opening that left shoulder towards the sky. One more big inhale. One more exhale. On our next inhale, we're gonna take the left hand behind the left sitting bone. We're gonna press into the left shin. Press into the right heel. Lift the hips and reach the right arm as far back as you can. Take a deep inhale and exhale slowly with control. Release. Once you're back to center, we're going to take a little twist before we do the other side. We're going to take the right hand behind the right sitting bone, lengthening the spine, twisting from the belly button up to the right. We're going to take the left hand to the outside of the right knee and then use your hands to help you twist a little deeper, looking over the right shoulder. Once you're here, one more breath in. Twist deeper on your exhale and slowly come back to center. We're going to extend the left leg out to the side. We're going to walk the hands to between the knees, and then we're going to walk them as far out forward as we can. Maybe this is where we're going to pause and we're going to breathe right here. Maybe you're going to bring the hands to the shins, ankles, and another great option here, if it's available to you, you can come down on your forearms, or you can place blocks and then come onto the blocks if the floor is not accessible yet. Toes are pointing up. Try not to let the toes point in. See if you can keep them pointing up. Maybe if you can even slightly open them to the side. If you're feeling too much tension around the knees, press into your heels a little bit. This is gonna elevate the knees. So notice here, you're pressing into the heels, you're bending the knees just a little, and you should be feeling the stretch on the inner thighs. No tension in the knees. We're gonna take one more breath in and one more breath out. And on our next inhale, slowly walk the hands back, lifting the head above the heart. We're gonna switch legs. We're gonna bring the right foot into the inner left thigh. Inhale, reach the arms up, keep the rib cage contained as you lengthen the spine. Exhale, the hands behind the back of the neck. Left elbow to the left hip, inhale. Exhale, take the left elbow to the side. Feel that stretch on the right side of the rib cage. Feel the compression on the left side of the rib cage. Inhale, slowly with control, back to center. That's where we're really using the obliques. So when we exhale, we slowly come over to the side. Now we inhale with control back to center, working those oblique muscles that help keep the waist in. Exhale for 3. Inhale slowly with control back to center. And 2. And slowly back to center. Last time we're gonna hold. Come over to the left. Bring the left fingertips to the mat. Maybe walk them all the way out. If it's available to you, maybe see if you can come down onto the left forearm. It might be different on this side. That's normal. Once you're here, start to open into the right. Press your head into your hand. Take the right elbow as far back as you can. Take a big inhale here. Maybe lengthen through the arm. On your exhale, we're gonna fold towards the extended left leg. Reach both hands towards the ankle. If that's not available or accessible to you, don't worry about it. Place your hands on blocks. Place your hands on either side of the knee. Turn the chest towards the left toes and then fold at the hips, keeping the spine long. Imagine as if you're trying to take your chin towards your toes. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to soften, and we're gonna hold right here for just a couple breaths. With every exhale, letting the belly soften, keep pressing that right hip and right knee down to the mat to anchor the pose. From here, we're gonna take the left hand to the inside of the left knee, so you can keep the hand, forearm, or you can adjust as you need to with your blocks. And then we're gonna take the right arm into a big wingspan. Take it as far back as you can, elbow extended, wrist extended, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then from here, take the right fingertips towards the left toes. Inhale, slowly come back to center. And we're gonna take a moment here to twist the left hand behind the left sitting bone. Lengthen the spine. The right hand comes to the outside of the left thigh as we twist to look over the left shoulder. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. And slowly come back to center. We're gonna place the right hand behind the right sitting bone. Press into the right shin. Press into the left heel, lift the hips, squeeze the sitting bone, and reach the left arm as far back as you can. One more inhale, and exhale softly with control, release. Extend both legs out to the side. Maybe this time see if you can take the heels a little bit further out. It might feel natural to do so. Another way to adjust in this pose is one hand in front of the sitting bones and one hand behind. Lift the hips up and then just move them forward. Once you're comfortable, inhale to lengthen and then exhale, fold forward. Take a deep breath in. And with your exhale, see if you can reach a little bit further this time. Deep inhale. And slow exhale. We're just gonna remain here for a few more breaths, folding forward wherever you are in this pose. Maybe keep pressing into the heels if you're feeling the tension in the knees. Let's take one more breath in. And one more breath out. And on our next inhale, walk the hands back, lift the head above the heart. We're gonna bring the soles of the feet together, coming into butterfly pose. We're interlacing the fingers, the toes, or you can grab a hold of the ankles wherever you are. Take a deep breath in to lengthen, and then on your exhale, press your knees down to the mat. Just a little exploration mission. Take a deep breath in. On our exhale, we're gonna fold forward. Keep the spine long, so we're avoiding doing this. Yes, it's gonna get the chin closer towards the floor, but the point here is to keep the spine long, keep the abdomen engaged, bend the elbows. Feel that stretch in the inner thighs. Option here is to bring the hands to the inner thighs or knees. Don't press down onto them. Just gently rest your hands and use the exhales to release deeper into this pose. And for those of us that have really open shoulders, a really good alternative here is you can try interlacing your hands behind the sitting bones, extending the elbows, and as you reach forward, take the knuckles behind you. So wherever we are here in this pose, we're going to take 2 more breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. 1 more breath in. And 1 more breath out. Slowly walk the hands back, lifting the head above the heart. We're gonna take the hands behind us this time. We're gonna bring the knees up to the sky. Walk your feet mat width apart and windshield wipe the knees side to side. Maybe pause on each side just to feel that stretch of the hip in the opposite direction. We're just adjusting here. And 1 more time maybe, if you're feeling comfortable. And on our next inhale, we're gonna make our way onto our hands and knees for tabletop. Let's swing the legs around. Let's bring the wrists under the shoulders and out shoulder width apart. And knees are about hip width apart. Now let's find a long neutral spine. We don't want to let the lower back sag, so this is more towards our cow spine. And we don't want to really lift the chest too much either. This is more like towards cat spine. Instead, imagine lengthening the tailbone towards the bottom of the mat and the crown of the head towards the front of the mat. Lift the chest away from the floor. Draw the belly in and squeeze the rib cage in. So we're draw the 2 bottom ribs together. Now we're gonna keep the spine exactly where it is as we extend the opposite leg, opposite arm. Nice and slowly with control. Inhale to extend the right leg back and the left arm forward. Exhale to release back to center. Spine does not move. Inhale, left leg back, right arm forward. Exhale, slowly release. If you're looking to challenge yourself, you can try doing this with a block placed right onto the back, somewhere flat. And that way you're really gonna feel how much the spine moves through this exercise. Let's continue our flow. Inhale, right leg, left arm, spine does not move. Keep the rib cage engaged. Exhale to release. Inhale, left leg back, right arm forward. Exhale to release. 1 more time each side. Inhale, right leg, left arm, lengthen and stretch. Exhale to release. And inhale, left leg, right arm, stretch, lengthen through the heel. And exhale to release. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, find cow spine. Exhale, curl in, find your belly button, tuck the chin in, find your cat spine. 1 more time, inhale. And 1 more time, exhale. On our next inhale, we're gonna come back to center. We're gonna pivot the left knee so that the left toes come to the outside of the mat. We're gonna curl the right toes under. We're gonna extend the right knee. Place the toes to the bottom of the mat. Once you're stable here, left wrist is centered under the left shoulder. We're gonna open the body to the right. So we're gonna pivot onto the right toes so that the sole of the foot comes flat on the mat. And then we're gonna reach the right arm up, stacking right wrist on top of right shoulder, on top of left shoulder, on top of left wrist. Press into the mat and lift away from it. Keep that right foot engaged. Keep pressing it into the mat. Option here, if you want to give it a try, is to maybe lift the left knee off the mat. Another option is you can try lifting the foot as well. One more. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, softly release the left foot down. And now lift the right thigh parallel to the mat, bend the knee and reach for the top of the foot. Now for some of us, this might not be accessible. If you're having a hard time reaching the top of the foot, another option is you're gonna hug the right knee into the chest. Hand slides down from the knee to the ankle, and then we open the foot back. Now press your foot into your hand, lift the chest and lift the thigh. Maybe lift the gaze, take a deep inhale here, feel the squeeze between the shoulder blades, feel the engagement in the thigh, and then exhale softly, slowly, with control and grace, release back down to the mat, to your tabletop. One more time, we're gonna make our way into our extended spinal balance, alternating between sides. Find that neutral spine first, engage the abdomen, lift through the chest. This time we're gonna begin with the left leg back, right arm forward, lengthen and reach. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale, switch right leg, left arm, spine does not move. Exhale, back to center. Inhale, left leg, right arm. Exhale to release. Inhale, right leg, left arm. Exhale to release. One more time, each side. Inhale, left leg, right arm. And release. And right leg, left arm. And release. Inhale for cat spine or cow spine. And exhale for cat. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Coming back to center. Find neutral spine. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. And I'm going to switch sides to demonstrate. You don't have to. Making sure here that the wrists are under the shoulders and the knees are under the hips. This time, we're going to take the right foot to the outside of the mat. Keep the right knee under the right hip. Curl the left toes under and extend the left knee. We're going to keep that right wrist under the right shoulder as we turn over onto the left side. So we're going to pivot the foot. So the foot comes down to the mat. This is important because we want to press into it. And then we reach the left arm to the sky. Once you're feeling stable, maybe you can try lifting the right knee and right sole, top of the foot off the mat. Or maybe you're going to stay right here and keep lifting the chest, pressing the mat away. One more breath in wherever you are. And one more breath out. And on our next inhale, we're going to slowly release, come back to center. Lift the left thigh parallel to the mat, bend the knee, and grab a hold of the top of the foot. Alternatively, you bring the knee into the chest, slide your hand down to the ankle, and then press it open. Now try not to let the knee come down towards the floor. Let's engage that leg. Press your foot into your hand, lift the thigh, open the chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. One more. Inhale. And then on your exhale, slowly, gracefully, release back down to the mat. Gently sway the hips side to side. And from here, we're gonna take a moment in child's pose. You can do child's pose with the knees mat width apart. You can do child's pose with the knees together or anywhere in between. Bring the big toes to touch and slowly let the chest sink towards the mat. Let the forehead rest. Let the forearms rest. We want to keep the wrists in one long line, allowing the blood to flow through them freely. We want to allow the shoulders to relax, and all that comes just from allowing the wrists to rest. So bring them down to the mat and allow the body to breathe deeply in child's pose. With every inhale, expand the rib cage. With every exhale, let the chest sink closer to the mat. And one more slow breath out. And on our next inhale, slowly start to walk the hands towards the knees, lifting the head above the heart. We're gonna remain here on top of our, keeping the shins down onto the mat, keeping the tops of the feet tucked under. Bring the knees together. We're gonna bring a little bit more movement into the shoulders and into exploring deeper back bends. From here, shoulders are on top of the hips, on top of the heels. Palms are resting on the thighs. Keep the abdomen engaged and keep the two bottom ribs drawn in. So we want to keep squeezing into the midline. On our inhale, we're going to reach the right arm all the way back, as far back as you can. Keep the chest facing forward, and then bring the right hand towards the right toes. Once you're here, press your hand down into the mat. Lift the hips, try and keep the chest forward and then up as you squeeze the sitting bones. Lift as far up as you can and then exhale, slowly come back down to the mat. We're gonna reverse the hand move or the arm movement. Inhale, reach the right arm as far back as you can, feel the shoulder blade. And exhale, bring the hand back down to the thigh. Let's switch. We're gonna bring the right hand to, or the left hand to the left thigh, and we're gonna bring the right hand to the chest, just to increase the awareness of which way the chest is facing. When you're ready, we begin with the left arm reaching as far forward as you can without moving the chest. Reach it as far up as you can, don't lift the shoulder. And then reach it as far back as you can. Left fingertips rest to the mat, close to the toes. When you're ready, squeeze the sitting bones, press into the hand, lift the hips, keep the chest lifted to the sky. Squeeze the sitting bones. And exhale, release back down to the mat. We're gonna reach the left arm as far back as we can, all the way up. And exhale, back down to the thigh. Take a moment right here. Maybe rotate out through the shoulders. And we're going to do this one more time, except this time, as we lift the hips, we're going to try and move the hand from the toes towards the heel. Let's give it a try together. We're going to begin with the left arm this time. Inhale, left arm reaches up and back. Begin to lift the hips as you take the left hand to the left heel. Hips are squared off to the front of the mat. Chest lifts towards the sky. This time we're going to reach the right arm up, maybe back as we look to the back. Exhale, slowly release the hips. Inhale, left arm all the way up and back. Let's give it a try on the other side. Nice and slowly, take your time as you move through this. Inhale, right arm reaches forward and up. Begin to lift the hips as the right hand comes to the right heel. Hips are squared off to the front of the mat. Left arm reaches up, maybe back. Keep pressing the hips forward. Squeeze the sitting bones together and exhale to release the hips. Release the right hand. Inhale, left arm circles all the way back and to the front. Take a deep breath in. And a very slow, long breath out. We're going to take a moment here. We're going to keep the knees together. And we're going to make our way down into child's pose, allowing the back to round a little. Maybe you rest your forehead on top of your palms. Or if you need to use a pillow, go ahead and use a pillow. And just 2 breaths right here. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. One more deep inhale. And one more slow exhale. On our next breath in, walk the hands back, lift the head above the heart. We're going to make our way into a seated. We're going to swing the legs out in front of us, and if you need to give them a big shake, go ahead and do so. Another option here is to bring the hands behind the sitting bones. Draw the belly in, lift through the rib cage, and we're going to rotate the toes in the same direction. Try and move them together. Bringing circulation back into the ankles and into the tops of the feet. Next time that the toes are pointing to 12 clocks, pause and change directions. And last few breaths. And on our next inhale, take a moment and pause. From here, we're going to take the right knee and we're going to place it just below the left knee. There's a little crease in between the kneecap and your quad muscle where your bony ankle should rest quite comfortably. If you need to, you can always bring a towel or maybe a part of a blanket in between just to soften this. The goal here is to open up into that right glute. We're going to gently be encouraging the right knee down towards the floor. Keeping the spine long because we're not focusing on the spine right now, we're focusing on that right glute. On our exhale, we're just going to begin to hinge at the hips, folding forward. As soon as you start hinging at the hips, you should begin feeling that stretch. Keep the spine long. Couple of options here. You can do one or you can do a combination of all of them. Just stay with the breath. That's the most important part. You can either rest your forearms across the right shin. You can reach for your left ankle, or you can simply place your hands anywhere down onto the mat to take some of the weight coming from the torso and distribute it evenly so that you're not squeezing or tensing into the stretch. So wherever you are, take a deep breath in. And softly exhale, allowing the chest to melt closer towards the right shin. Deep inhale. And a very slow, long exhale. Now, option here is for those of us with very open shoulders. We did it before. If you want, you can interlace your hands, extend the elbows, and then take the knuckles to the sky as you reach forward. Lots of great options available. Try everything and find what works for you. It's not a competition. It's not a challenge. I invite you to enjoy the option that you pick. We're going to be here for one more inhale. And one more exhale as we fold closer towards the extended leg. And on our next inhale, slowly walk the hands back towards the hips, lifting the head above the heart. We're going to grab a hold of the right ankle as we swing the left leg out to the side. We've done something similar before. We're just going deeper now. We're bringing the right foot into the inner left shin. One more time, we're going into a side body stretch, but we are going deeper this time. What we're going to do is we're going to turn the chest towards the right knee. We're going to reach the left hand towards the left ankle, and as we slide over, keep opening the body to the right. Now, inhale, reach the right arm all the way back. Find your big wingspan. Exhale, reach the right arm over the head towards the left shoulder. One day, as we keep doing this, maybe the fingers are not going to be today. Back. Now, keep drawing the right shoulder back, opening the right side of the chest towards the sky. All we're gonna do is we're gonna rotate that shoulder. We're gonna reach the right hand in front of the chest towards the left toes. Then we're gonna swing the arm all the way around and behind the lower back. Maybe adjusting the hand so that you're reaching for the top of the left thigh, or you can simply press the back of the hand into your lower back. Deep breath here. And as you stay in this pose, as you get more comfortable, as you find more length and more space, feel free to bring the hand or the forearm to the inside of the left foot or to the outside of the left foot. Explore what feels good. Breathe into the pose. Right hip presses down. Right thigh and right knee press down, anchoring the stretch. One more inhale here. One more exhale. On our next inhale, we're making our way into our modified wild thing. Right hand behind the right sitting bone. Right shin presses into the mat. Left heel presses into the mat as we lift the hips up. Bring the sole of the foot down, extend the knee, lift the hip, reach the left arm as far back behind you as you can. Exhale, release back to center. Take a moment here, feel that length in the torso, and we're gonna go ahead and switch. We're gonna extend the right leg out to the side. We're gonna bring the left sole of the foot. Let's start by extending the right leg out in front of us. Left ankle just above the quad muscle. Flex the toes so that the ankle stays in line with the knee. Inhale to lengthen the spine. And exhale to fold forward. And as soon as you begin to fold forward, you should start bringing that stretch into the left glute here. And again, lots of great options. Find what works for you. Maybe you're gonna rest your forearms across the shin. Maybe you're gonna reach for the extended foot. Maybe you're gonna rest your hands anywhere onto the mat where it makes this stretch comfortable. We don't wanna be squeezing here. We wanna be releasing so that we stretch the muscles. Tense muscles don't stretch. We wanna release, we wanna relax. And we want to breathe into it. And again, the shoulder opening option is also available if it feels good today. 2 breaths. Inhale. And exhale. One more breath in. One more breath out. And slowly inhale, come back to center. Now let's take that right leg out to the side, left sole of the foot into the inner right thigh. Once you're here, we're gonna turn the chest towards that left knee. Right hand reaches for the right ankle, and as we slide it closer, we reach the left arm in the opposite direction to find that big wingspan. So we're not just reaching away, we're just reaching back. We want to squeeze the shoulder blades together. Take a deep breath in. Exhale to begin to bend into that left elbow, right elbow, as you take the left arm over the body. Keep the shoulder away from here. So we don't want to do this here. We want to keep opening that through that left shoulder. We want to feel the stretch. 2 breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Keep pressing the left hip and the left thigh down towards the mat to anchor the stretch. One more inhale and one more exhale. And now from here, we're gonna reach the left arm in front of the face and the chest towards the right toes. Swing it all the way around and back as you wrap the left arm around the lower back, reaching for the right hip or thigh, or press the back of the hand into the sitting bone. Let's take 2 more breaths in. Find your adjustments, find your modifications. And on our next inhale, we're making our way into our modified wild thing. We're going to be placing the left hand behind the left sitting bone. Press into the left shin, extend the right knee, press into the right heel, lift up, arch back. And slowly back to center. Beautiful. Now from here, let's take a moment, just feel the body settle in. We're gonna extend both legs into a big wide V. And this time you're gonna notice that you might need a little bit more space, so feel free to adjust sideways on your mat as you need to. And here, one more time, you can either bring the hands to the shins, ankles, or keep the hands in front of you as you fold forward. And try and keep that spine long, so we want to avoid doing this way just to get our hands further. Instead, we want to keep the chest lifted, we want to keep the sitting bones down on the mat, and we want to keep the toes pointing up, maybe back, but not forward. And same thing for the shoulders here. If this is part of your practice, it's going to feel like a nice shoulder opener. Feel free to get into that. Wherever you are, we're going to breathe nice and deep in and out through the nose. This is also going to help stretch and soften the low back. And last few breaths in here. In and out through the nose. Now from here, slowly start to walk the hands back, lifting the head above the heart. We are going to attempt another side bend, and this time we're going to go for our full variation of wild thing. An option will be, of course, to do the modified version one more time. So we're going to keep the right leg extended out to the side. We're going to bring the left sole of the foot into the inner right thigh. So chest is squared off to the left or to the left shin, and the right leg is out to the side. We're going to take a deep inhale as we lengthen the spine, and then on the exhale, we're going to take the right hand closer towards the right ankle. We're going to open the body to the left and reach the left arm up and over. So we're not reaching here with the shoulder. We want to keep the opening through the chest and the shoulder away from the ear. We're going to take one more breath in and one more breath out. So for a modified wild thing, from this pose here with the shin down on the mat, we inhale, right hand behind the right sitting bone, hips to the sky. That's option A. Or for the next option, so you can always do this if you need to, or for the next option, we're going to place the sole of the left foot down on the mat, close to the left sitting bone. Now from here, one more time, we're coming into our side bend. Right hand reaches to the right ankle. Now this time you might notice that this gives you a little more freedom, a little more mobility to take the forearm to the instep of the ankle or knee. And then we're going to reach the left arm over the body. For some of us, you might notice that it's easier to connect the fingers to the toes. If you're not there yet, don't worry about it. Focus on lifting through the chest. Breathe into it. We're going to be here for 2 more breaths. Alternative is to grab a hold of your left ankle with your right hand as you try and connect your left fingertips with the right toes. One more exhale, and on our next inhale, we're going for full wild thing. Inhale, right hand behind the right sitting bone. Press your hips to the sky. Reach the left hand all the way behind you to the mat. And slowly, with control, release. Let's give it a try on the other side. If you did the variation with the shin down on the mat, that is just as exciting. Come back to center. Let's give it another go. So we're gonna open the left leg out to the side. We're gonna bring the right sole of the foot into the inner left thigh. Going for our easier or more accessible side body bend. We're gonna bring the left fingertips towards the left ankle and the right arm reaches up and over. Now from here, we're gonna make our way into our modified wild thing. Right hand behind the right sitting bone, shin presses into the mat, left arm reaches back. Option one. Or let's give it another go. We're gonna place the right foot down on the mat. Right hand towards the right ankle, left arm over the body as we open. And again, the variation here is you can take your left hand to the right ankle, and if it's available to you, maybe connect the right fingertips to the left toes. We're here for one more big breath in and out. And on our next inhale, we're going for full wild thing. Right hand behind the right sitting bone, hips to the sky, and the hands all the way behind the stick. One more inhale. And exhale, softly, slowly release. So whichever version of wild thing you did, I hope you enjoyed it. That is the most important part of it. And now from here, we're just gonna do one last pose to release the inner thighs a little. I'm just gonna move slightly sideways. Let's bring the soles of the feet together. Coming back into our butterfly pose. So you might notice a more freedom here in the hips. And if it's available to you, you can start opening the feet like you would a book. So you're gonna keep the outer edges of the soles of the feet together, and then you're gonna open your feet just like you would a book. And again, moving forward, maybe pressing the elbows down into the shins, inner thighs or knees. Just don't press all your weight into it. Be gentle, breathe into it. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. And one more breath in. And one more breath out. On our next inhale, walk the hands back, lift the head above the heart. Let's place the hands behind us. Let's lift the knees to the sky, and let's windshield wipe them side to side. Pause on each side as you need to. Coming back to center, we're gonna make our way onto our backs for shavasana. We're gonna start with the knees into the chest, gently rocking side to side to release any tension from the back, to massage out the low back. Bring the hands to the knees. Take the knees a little bit away from the chest so that you notice there's more weight towards the tailbone area. And if this feels comfortable, you can start to make small circles with the knees. We're targeting the area right around the tailbone. Switch directions. And from here, we're gonna make our way into our final relaxation pose, our shavasana. We're gonna open the knees wider than the hips and the feet wider than the knees. Elbows wider than the shoulders, wrists wider than the elbows. Take a moment here to adjust the sitting bones and the shoulders. And then allow your body to rest in this final relaxation pose. If it feels comfortable, let the palms open to the sky. It's just a little extra rotation for the shoulders. Allow the sitting bones to melt. Scan your body head to toe and back. Notice where you're still holding on to tension. Take a deep, long breath in through the nose. And with your exhale, melt deeper into your shavasana. Feel free to pause the video right here and continue with your shavasana for as long as you need to. Or if you'd like to close your practice off with me, slowly begin to bring awareness back to the body and back to the breath. Start by wiggling the fingers and the toes. Rotating the wrists and the ankles. Bring the chin from shoulder to shoulder, maybe shaking the legs. Stretch, shake or sway the knees side to side. Take your time, slowly making your way into a comfortable seated. There is no rush. We'll open our palms to the sky. We'll take a deep, long breath in through the nose. And a very slow, full breath out through the nose. Take a moment here to thank yourself for committing to your practice and making it onto your mat today. And I want to thank you for letting me guide you through your practice. Namaste.